Metal Hails, everybody. This is your host, DJ Metalwargod from SonicAsylumRadio.com, and this is Viddy Diary number 6. And welcome, anyway. Of course, I'm supporting Cauldron Born today, so anyway, I've got a bunch of stuff over the last, probably the last 3 weeks that I've been kind of, waiting to showcase, and I usually post it online on my Facebook, but anyway, I got quite a bit of stuff, so let's get right to it. So first off is the vinyl. But first off, I want to say playing in the background is this. Some various artists, newfound power, and it has some Nocturnal Rites, Dream Evil, Catapulto, Iced Earth, Angel Dust, Nevermore, Into Eternity. This is a European version. I don't think I've ever seen it in the States here, but I got it over at Century Media when they were running their 80% off sale, so good stuff here. So check it out. Anyway, first up is Ruby the Hatchet, a band. I believe they are out of Texas, and this is their Valley of the Snake album. Yes, I'm doing albums right now. Kind of a psychedelic, doomish style band with female vocals. Very cool stuff if you're into psychedelic stuff, doom, so forth. But anyway, Valley of the Snakes by Ruby the Hatchet. Up next, a band called La Chinga, and this goes out to Scott Waters from No Life Till Metal. I seen it on one of his video diaries, and heard it in the background, and definitely had to pick it up. So I got La Chinga. No, not Mexican. They are out of Vancouver, BC, and they're kind of a stonerish 70s retro vibe band. Very cool stuff. This is their self-titled release, La Chinga. Up next, these are albums I got over at Laser's Edge, and they were running a sale on vinyl. $5 on some vinyl that they were trying to close out, and this happened to be one of them. Some Iron Savior, Rise of the Hero, double album, gatefold. Power metal at its finest. And very good stuff here. I have most of their stuff on either album or CD, so check it out. Good stuff here. Next up is some Yorn with Symphonica, or Symphonic, excuse me. Also a pickup from Laser's Edge for this one. I believe was $7. Also a gatefold edition. Very cool stuff. It's I like some of Yorn stuff, but when I can get it on vinyl, I definitely pick it up. Of course, I'm a vinyl junkie anyway, and always have been, always will be. So, and you can't go wrong when it's $7 for a double gatefold here. So yeah, some Yorn. Yes, indeed. Classic album. This has just been remastered. In fact, this is the hologram version of Rush's masterpiece 2112 gatefold edition. Like I say, it's remastered. You actually need to put it on a turntable, and you can shine a light on it and it'll show the hologram, which is very cool. Had to have it. There are probably not going to be a lot of them out there, but anyway, some classic Rush 2112. Another of the Laser Edge's albums for $7. Some Sinbreed with Shadows, also some power metal. Gatefold as well. Some of it is colored vinyl, but I believe this is, let's see here, what do we got here? This is black vinyl, and 180 gram. Good stuff if you like Sinbreed. With in addition to that 2112 by Rush, that was a 200 gram vinyl, so very, very heavy stuff. You need light tracking cartridges for that so you don't ruin the vinyls on that. The band put out their first album, Evil Invaders, some thrash here. I believe they're out of Belgium. This is Pulses of Pleasure, gatefold as well. Very cool stuff. Kind of reminiscent of old Exodus, probably Testament. The only bad thing I don't like about when I got this album, a little tear here in the spine, which kind of made me mad. But nonetheless, Evil Invaders. Very kick-ass album. Ah, yes, indeed. A band that's been around for a long time. Europe. And their release, War of Kings. If you're thinking old 80s style Europe, yeah, it probably has a little mix of that, but overall, I would say this is it has some very dark songs on it, very, very heavy. Just an all-around great album. Gatefold as well. You know, very, very, very good album. I don't have a lot of Europe, but again, vinyl, of course. Here's Europe with their latest offering, War of Kings. I just got this album here a couple days ago. I've been waiting for this for a couple months. Probably not a couple months, probably a month and a half. Over on Amazon, I got Udo's latest called Decadent. Gatefold as well. This is limited to 500 copies. This is also clear vinyl, double album clear vinyl from Udo. Yes, indeed. Decadent. What I like it's cool is if you do have the album, I love the glasses here. It has World Hunger, and I never really seen that in the CD, but you can see it in the shades of the glasses here. So very cool album. Of course, Udo. You can't go wrong with Udo. All right, those are most of the vinyls I've been picking up lately. I do have more stuff coming, but have not yet to receive it. Anyway, now let's get into some of the CDs I've been getting. Here's a band, I believe they're out of Italy, called Infantia Symphonia. Not really symphonic metal, more progressive metal with maybe some symphonic touches. Very good album. Come out in 2013 on Scarlet Records. So, good stuff here. Next up, band out of Ireland, The Answer, with their latest, Raise a Little Hell. Kind of a throwback 70s retro sound. Very good album. Highly recommend it. Whoops. Anyway, hate when that happens. They pop out of there. Sometimes these digipacks just don't hold them as well as regular jewel cases. Anyway, here is The Answer, Raise a Little Hell. A band that I don't think really too many people are really familiar with. They are on the Pure Steel Records label. A band called Skinflint, out of Zimbabwe, Africa. Yes, indeed. Metal is very, very strong over in Zimbabwe. This happens to be, let's see, what's this? Dipoko. I think they have 4 albums out. I believe this is their 3rd release. More traditional sounding heavy metal. This came out in, let's see here, I believe it was 2013 this came out. So check out Skinflint with Dipoko. Band out of Utah who's been making some pretty good waves. The band I interviewed here a couple years ago, I believe, out of Utah, band called Sonic Prophecy, and their latest called Apocalyptic Promenade. Very cool power metal. Good stuff here if you're into that style of metal. But anyway, here is some Sonic Prophecy. A classic band, one of my all-time favorite bands, just released probably one of their finest albums, probably I'd say in the last 15 to 20 years, and I'm speaking of none other than UFO with A Conspiracy of Stars. I think Vinnie Moore does some of his best guitar work on this album. Phil Mogg, excellent on vocals. Of course, Andy Parker on drums. Paul Raymond on keyboards and Rob DeLuca on bass. Awesome album. Very, 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 very good hard rock album from probably a legendary band, even though they don't have all the original members. But anyway, UFO, Conspiracy of Stars. A band out of the LA area came across here probably, God, I'd say probably about a month and a half, 2 months ago, a band called Salem's Lot. What really caught me was their song called No Choice to Love. And you can go over to YouTube and you can check out the video to that song. They're kind of a sleazy, heavy metal, not really total sleaze band, but heavy sleaze metal there. Well, more heavy than sleaze, put it that way. But good band. This is a seven song EP here. They're on Red Moon Records. I believe this came out in 2013, so good stuff here. A band that I've been following for quite a while, a band out of England, just released their latest offering, Reign of Fury. Yes, indeed. With Death Be Thy Shepherd. Of course, this, it is signed by the band right over here, so good stuff if you're into, I think they're more of a power thrash band, kind of in the same style as Savage Messiah, also from England, but anyway, Reign of Fury. CDs I've been getting out of Laser's Edge. This is one of their discounted CDs. I think they were like $5 a piece. A band, I believe they are out of, I could be wrong, I think they're out of Spain. I might be wrong in that, but a band called Perseus. More power metal. Actually, I believe they're out of Italy, now that I come to think of it. But this came out in 2014, last year release. Perseus, power metal. A band called Phoenix Rising. 2 CD set here. Also from Laser's Edge, $5 find. Good stuff. I don't always have the time to listen to all this stuff, but you know, Laser's Edge is predominantly progressive metal, progressive power metal, traditional heavy metal. You know, that's basically what they cater to. So this is Phoenix Rising with MMX22 Roman numerals. So check it out. Some Perseus. Also, another band also that was on the Laser's Edge reduction list from France, Nightmare with Cosmo Vision. This is on the Nightmare Records label. This came out in 2013. I would probably classify them as more of a heavy metal style band, maybe with some traditional elements in their music. So here is some Nightmare. Another Utah band that really is making waves as well. Band called Judicator. And their latest offering, At the Expense of Humanity. Also a band I interviewed on Metal Uprising on Sonic Asylum Radio. Power metal as well. Good band, good stuff. Of course, as you can see, my preference in the style of metal I prefer is power metal, progressive metal, but I do like other styles. So anyway, here is Judicator out of Utah. Another band out of the UK they just released their first EP, a band called Toledo Steel, and their EP called 0 Hour. more of a traditional heavy metal style. Good stuff. They just released this year. I ordered it directly from the band. Some of this stuff you have to order from the bands. Sometimes it is not available in the States to get, so you gotta search out either their Facebook sites or their own personal websites, and sometimes you gotta order from the band. Sometimes does it take a little longer? Yes, but sometimes it's faster than US deliveries. So anyway, Toledo Steel, a classic band that should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This is one of their, probably, in my opinion, top 3 albums of all time. Uriah Heep with Demons and Wizards. Classic album. I can remember growing up in the 70s and listening to The Magician's Birthday, which is not on this, but this has Easy Livin', a staple on FM radio, and of course you can't go wrong. Classic 70 band that deserves to be in the Hall of Fame and deserves to be in everybody's catalog. Some of these here I got over at Century Media. They had the 80% off sale on CDs, and I mean, you could literally pick CDs up if they were not out of stock, anywhere from 50 cents to about $4 per CD. And this is one of them I got, Rage 21 Digibook. The only thing I dislike about this is the sticker. I don't know why labels got to put stickers on the digi covers or the jewel covers. It just makes it look ugly, but nonetheless, I still got it. It's a Digibook. Heavy metal band out of Germany. I mean, you can't go wrong with them. This come out, I believe, in 2012. And let's see. It has a bonus CD with them doing live in Tokyo. So yeah, good stuff here. Rage. Another one of the Century Media 80% off sales. Band called Attic Demons, excuse me, with their latest, or not latest, this album here is called Atlantis. I believe they are another band that is from, I believe, Greece or Italy. I could be wrong. I'm not, sometimes you just can't remember all the countries they're from, but another band on the Pure Steel Records, and of course, heavy metal band, great stuff. Check them out. Attic Demons. Another from the Century Media 80% off sale, band called Maltese Falcon with 2, and this came out on No Remorse Records, and this came out, let's see, it was probably 2012, 2013, a reissue, which No Remorse Records does quite a bit, put out stuff by classic bands, and of course this is one of the albums or CDs they put out, which was Maltese Falcon. Another in the Century Media sale, band called Aska with 9 Tongues, also on the Pure Steel Records. Pure Steel happens to be one of the probably up and coming good heavy metal labels, putting out killer bands, killer releases, and I highly recommend picking up stuff through their label. And they are a German label, so you can go over there and pick this up. This came out in 2013. Aska, heavy metal band with 9 Tongues. And of course, another band on 80% off sale, Althanico with Back in 2066. This came out in 2012. Another band on the Pure Steel Records label. I'd say more of a power thrashy band out of Greece. Good stuff here. Been following them for a number of years. Good stuff. So yeah. Althanico with Back in 266. And yet another one on the 80% Century Media sale. This is the second pressing of this, the Metal Law with Lawbreaker, second edition. Good stuff. This came out in 2013 on Metal Records. Traditional, kick-ass heavy metal. Can't go wrong with it. Good stuff here. And yeah, good stuff. And yet another one on the Century Media 80% off. Band called Space Vacation with Heart Attack. And again, on the Pure Steel Records label. This came out in 2013. This is more of a new wave of traditional heavy metal out of the Bay Area of San Francisco, which is always a hotbed for good metal bands. Space Vacation with Heart Attack. And yet more from the Century Media 80% sale. Some Black and Blue Within Heat, you know. Of course, this was produced by Gene Simmons. This came out in 2003 on Majestic Rock Records. But of course, Black and Blue from the 80s, one of the classic bands that is still around. So anyway, here's some Black and Blue. Another one on the label, some Strike Light with Taste My Attack. Again on the No Remorse Records. And let's see, band out of Greece. And probably more of a thrashy power metal sound. Good stuff. But anyway, here's some Strike Light. You know, you gotta love the covers. Great stuff. Gotta love the covers, like I say. I mean, classic covers. You don't get that anywhere else but heavy metal, period. Strike Light, indeed. Ah, yes. A band I've been following for a long time out of Australia. A band called Ilium with their latest, My Misanthropia. And it features none other than Lance King on vocals. And this is a digipack, limited edition, 2 CD set. The second CD is Wendigo. It has 5 tracks on it. This came out of Nightmare Records. Great album. I mean, you cannot go wrong with Ilium. I mean, I've been following them for years. And Jason Hodges on guitar. You know, Ilium crosses path with Lord Tim from Dungeon fame. Lord Tim also sang on some of the earlier Ilium albums, and this is their latest, called My Misanthropia. Another Australian band, but this has a multi-talented assortment of heavy metal vocalists on Empires of Eden with Architect of Hope. And of course, signed. I've got a couple posters back here from Empires of Eden, which is very cool. Stu Marshall's project. I think this is his third or fourth project with Empires of Eden, and guest vocalist has Rick Altsey, Ralph Sheepers, Tony Webster, George Call, Carlos Zima, Jeff Martin, Mike DeMille. But just an all-around killer CD. And I really highly recommend this. Here is Empires of Eden with Architect of Hope. And one last CD here, of course. The last one also was on the Century Media 80% off sale with Dark Angel and Live Scars, which came out in 1999 on Lonely Planet Productions. Century Media put this out. I got quite a few Dark Angels. I did not have this, however, and so I picked it up. Can't go wrong with it. Dark Angel, classic band. I believe they are recording some new music, and they should have some out this summer. So anyway, well, those are my latest offerings, and like I say, check out my show on Wednesday evenings called Metal Uprising on SonicAsylumRadio.com. I'm on from 7 to 10:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and that's every Wednesday. If you're interested, go over to my Facebook site, which is easily accessible. I'm usually posting stuff on there all the time, so as I always say, keep it loud, keep it heavy, keep it metal, and I will see you next time on Metalwargod's Video Diary.